record us so that I can post a recording later.
Eric, see how that's done?
What? Who was yelling at me?
See?
Oh.
See how the recording's done?
Oh yeah, thanks. I forgot to record our last one. Sorry.
Okay, so let me just do a share the screen.
No, it just doesn't work for me.
You're disappearing there, Dave.
I'm a ghost, no matter what I use.
What is Eric drinking?
It's wine. I just don't have a wine glass.
There you go. I thought you were into the old fashions again.
I already did one of those. We had a family Easter Zoom, so it was in need of drinking. So
Yeah, they always are, aren't they?
Yeah, we're having one later, so, and it'll definitely involve drinking.
Oh yes.
Of course, I could always get started now.
No time like the present.
All right, so everybody can see my screen, right?
Yes.
Mhm.
All right, hang on 1 second, because what I want to do is I'm gonna put it up on my other screen so that I can keep track of whose images we're looking at while I make this big.
I could tell you too.
Yeah.
Oh, that works. Yeah, it's hard to kind of keep track. Okay, for those of you that weren't here last time, since that was our first time, I'm not saying that we have this figured out, because we may or may not have it figured out, but a couple of things. First off, just for those who aren't used to Zoom, remember that when you're talking, you can speak into the camera, which is the little dot on your computer. So if you look at all the people, it will never look like you are talking to anybody. So that's just a little hint. Then the next thing is all of these images that we are playing with are ones that would have been taken during our quarantine, and not things that, you know, were from a previous vacation or some other time period. We just want to focus on what we've done while we are in quarantine. And we're kind of using the Oreo method, where we provide feedback that is constructive and something positive. And then if you spot something that maybe could be improved upon, you can mention that. And if somebody has written that they didn't want a critique or like feedback, then we'll honor that too. Just so you know, you could do that in your in the like title of your image. So with that being said, this is Gwen Patton's image, and she's calling it Nature's Beauty. I don't know if Gwen is in here. I don't think so. And if you're not here, today we have quite a few images, so we'll probably just move past unless somebody has something specific to say. And you can all unmute yourself if you want, or just unmute when you need to talk.
I'm okay with moving past.
Okay, we will move past.
Yeah, I just checked them all, and I can only see the title, Lisa, but no one has said don't critique. But I'm agree, if they're not here, I think we should just pass them by.
Okay, is Judy here? Nope.
And just for an update, you can hold down the space bar to unmute yourself.
Oh, cool.
Great. Is Gary here?
No.
Dang, I love that image.
I did too.
Yeah, let's look. Which one is it? Let's see.
It was the leather.
Oh, yeah. That was.
This got a ton of comments.
I
Yeah.
love that one.
Yeah. That was great.
Yeah, that was a bright idea.
Is that a jacket or is it a, does anybody know exactly what that is?
I think it's a jacket.
A jacket? Yeah, that's what I figured, but I just wasn't sure.
It
Yeah.
looks like an old
No,
leather
it could
bomber
be
jacket.
a
It looks.
duffel bag,
Uh-huh.
you know, but it looks like a jacket.
Okay, is Kathy in here? All right. Well, so far we're like, that's
No.
another one of Gwen's. Oh, Bob's here.
Yay!
Yay!
Hey, Bob.
Love it, Bob.
Okay, so who wants to talk about this one?
Well, how about telling us how it was made?
Let him tell us about it.
Yeah.
So I actually shot this down by Union Station. So this is actually a reflection off glass by Union Station, believe it or not. And then I just did some funky color tone because I was thinking, Andy Warhol day. So it was Andy Warhol goes to Union Station to totally change the dynamics of the image. So, but the reason why everything lines up almost 100% until you go far away, and then you can kind of see where there's some funky stuff in the glass. But this is literally taking my camera, putting it right up against the glass, and basically got a reflection. So the left side is obviously real, and the right side is the reflection. So.
Oh, okay.
Wow.
Oh,
I
Nice.
was trying to figure
Okay.
out where it was. I was thinking straight on, but
That's true.
It's
Yeah.
over by the, I want to say the elevator, or there's a middle of the causeway. There's
the escalators.
no, it's not the escalator. There's a building with glass on both sides. I thought the escalator is further down because you can see it,
Okay. Yeah.
or the
I
walkway.
think there is an elevator there that goes down to the bus.
Yeah, maybe that's it. So
Yeah.
anyways,
Suzanne?
so just, yeah. In fact, I think I was hanging out there with Darren. We were just poking around one day. And so this is one that, I don't know, I messed around with. I tried to make it in black and white at one point. But I decided to totally throw some funky color to it. So
That's cool. Very nice.
very cool.
And was it daytime? You said it was raining, so that's a reflection. So it
that's
was
actually snow. So it
Oh,
rained
snow.
and there's snow on the side,
Mhm.
on the tracks. Yeah, so that's how obviously I got the color tones in
Right.
the walkway.
And it was also really empty because there was no train there, or just no train,
No train. Yep.
no people. Great.
Yep. Yeah. So
Yeah, I love this image.
There are lots of leading lines. I mean,
Yeah,
they're just all
so
over
when-
the place, up the buildings. And
yeah, when somebody said
Tracks.
leading lines, I have a shot like that.
Well, it makes me want to go down to the station and get some like that. That's fun. Yeah.
I love the colors that you chose, the greens, the reds, and the yellows kind of are awesome.
Yeah, I used On One has a new entry that just came out with their latest update called Retro. I think it's called Retro or something. And so it matches all these different color tones. And so this one just kind of popped up at me because as soon as I saw the pink, I thought of Andy Warhol. So.
And I'm not familiar with that one. I'm familiar with like Nick Filters and Topaz, but On One, did you say?
Yeah, it's called On One. I've gone away from Nick except for Silver Effects. And for those who don't really even want to, if they want to even get away from Lightroom and Photoshop, I think it's the best standalone software out there for like $79 in my view. So I know a couple of people have gone away from, just the expense of Lightroom and Photoshop. So, and then it's a plugin to Photoshop and it has all these presets like for film, and it's just a really cool artistic way to it's just another part of my processing from Lightroom to On1 to Photoshop. So,
It
And
was
it,
on one, right?
yep, ON numeral 1.
and it fits in really nicely if you're just using Photoshop too. It's a plugin for Photoshop also.
It's a great image. All right, we're going to move on to the next one, and actually, this is
Nice.
Eric's image.
Aw.
Nice.
I
I
like
love
that.
how that cat decided to just put himself in one of the upper quadrants of your grid. So tell us
He's a,
about the image.
he's a good model for about 2 seconds. So this was taken about, I think, a Monday when we first started the leading lines. And this is going to be our nursery, but he loves going in there in the late afternoon because the sun pours in there. And I just walked in and I was like, oh my God. And he was just sitting there. And I took a bunch of photos of him, and this is the one I loved. So
Yeah, that's awesome.
His eyes are perfectly placed
Very nice.
in the light. Yeah.
You might try it as a black and white too. It might be cool.
I thought I sent it as a black and white, but I guess I didn't. But yes, I think that would be cool too. Yep.
Or how about black and white, leave the cat orange?
Everybody seems to be suggesting that to me this month.
Anybody else have something you want to say about this?
Is this the color of the nursery, Eric?
No, it is right now, but we're going to paint it soon. But I think, did I name it Tic Tac Cat? I think that's what I named it.
No, you didn't name it anything. Oh yeah, tic cat toe.
Nice.
Yeah, love that image.
The only thing I have is the socket, and I tried to take it out of there, but Photoshop didn't like it, and I didn't want to spend time on it.
Yeah, that would be tricky with the light and shadow going through it.
I think when I don't mind that socket there, just because it really ties you to like a location. In a way, it's kind of part of the setting.
Cool, cool, cool.
Okay. This is Winston's, and he's not here. That's Kathy, and she's not here.
Oh, that's mine.
Lori, awesome.
Cool.
Tell us about your image.
So I played around with some various other leading lines, nothing that I really liked. And then my husband was playing his guitar. Actually, I thought ahead. I thought next time he plays his guitar, I'm going to try that. So I made him like move into front of the window where I got a little light. And he patiently waited while I tried to shoot pictures. And so anyway, I was really trying to get something that, for me, leading lines, I wanted the line to lead to something, and I couldn't really find anything, but I thought this sort of worked. I think your eyes, you go to the hands initially, but then they sort of drift back up the guitar there. And then I made it black and white, just so that we could focus on the hands and not other things. So
yeah, I think that where he's holding the pick and the reflection in whatever that is, the reflection off the guitar.
Yeah,
that would be an awesome focal point for the leading lines right in there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's really cool.
Yeah, it is.
Very nice.
Are you suggesting to change the cropping somehow?
Maybe play around with it, because I don't know, I can't tell what's in that shadow back behind his hand. Are those his shoes?
Oh, it could be.
Yeah,
it could
and
be.
it's maybe play around with it. Do you want that in there? Do you not want it in there? Because I think if you come in just a little bit, it'll give us that nice leading line.
Just to the one hand, though.
Almost right up to his knuckles, I think.
All right.
I don't know, just a thought. Yeah.
Anybody?
I really love that reflection of his fingers in the right where he's picking that's cool.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Like I was happy. I liked it. Okay. I really wanted the hands to be, you know.
It's definitely nice the way it is, but there you could play around with it and get all kinds of different compositions out of that. I think you're onto something worth trying more stuff with.
Okay, so we'll go on to the next one. I don't think Alexandra is here.
Pittsburgh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Elaine,
Yep.
you want to tell us about this image?
Sure. Yep. I live downtown, so I can actually see that. That's the Colorado Supreme Court building. And so it's right by Civic Center, right by the State Capitol building. And as I was walking around there, I noticed the banisters and then, of course, the shadow of the banister leading right up to the front door. So it just seemed to work for me. And normally the sky wouldn't be that blue, but I was messing around. Well, after watching Jeff Johnson's thing about luminosity and things, and I was playing with the sliders, and because you couldn't, in the original exposure, you couldn't really see the liberty and justice for all the text. But as I was playing with the sliders, I noticed that when I pulled that blue slider down, it actually illuminated the text and the doors in a way that didn't show up before. So it wasn't, I wasn't quite sure why, but I really, like, I turned the sky a little too blue so that I could get the text in there. But I really, I shot the picture though because of the line, that shadow that just to me kind of led right to the front door.
Awesome.
I like it.
You could mask out the sky from the part that you were adjusting.
Yes, I could. Yes, I could. I'm just, I'm not very good at masking yet though. I'm still working on my Lightroom and Photoshop skills.
No, I love the composition. It's really nice.
Thank you.
Yeah,
I like the leading lines aren't straight necessarily on the shadows too. That's cool.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, well, that was the effect that I liked. I liked the kind of the fact that it was kind of a jagged, squiggly line, but it was still led you right to the front door. So that's what attracted me. That's what I saw. That's why I took the picture.
It's kind of like the line for liberty and justice for all is a little wobbly.
That it is.
yeah, beautiful image.
Mm-hmm. Thank you.
Okay, David.
Hello. Okay. Yeah.
Yours, and you're calling this Strata Pine?
Yeah. It's this is up on Dinosaur Ridge. During our time off, we've been walking around the area quite a bit and went up there. Although the museum and the bus tours are no longer active, you can still get up there. So we did that last Thursday. And this is the west side where, there's a nice view of Red Rocks. You've probably seen it, of course, from up there just to the right of this. But what this is, if anyone wants to go back there, this is where the volcanic ash from 104 million years ago exhibit is. We went up there, it's about 4 PM, and I thought the lighting was real good for lighting up that edge of the rock there, as well as the tree a little bit too. And that tree is actually at an angle, as are the rocks there. So it's the picture itself is more or less horizontal, but looking up quite a bit there too, because everything's dipping down toward the end to the east. So all I did really was just shoot right up there, and I like the strata and the view. The colors were probably a little more drab than what you see here. So I took advantage also of Jeff Johnson's workshop last week, and I kind of did some highlighting and I tried to make things a little warmer in Lightroom on that. So anyways, that's about it, I guess. Turning strata into leading lines basically is what I was doing here.
I do like how you brought out some of the colors in the rock, and I think you did a good job on that.
So were you actually looking up?
It's up at an angle, so maybe about 30 degrees dip here in the rocks. So you're probably looking up about 25, 30 degrees.
Yeah. I always like it when there's an end point to look at, like the tree there.
Mhm.
Yeah, that's kind of the point. Yeah.
Yeah, that slice of light is awesome. I love that on the strata. It's another leading line basically. So it's pretty.
Yeah, I love the light and shadows.
Mm-hmm. And the texture.
Yeah.
Nice.
Right. Let's see who is our next. Bruce. Tell us about this one.
Well, actually, when we started talking about the leading lines thing, we've been going on walks every day over here, and there's a couple of spots that I took these shots at, and I waited till the light was really low, and I almost got that person where I want, that person isn't where I want them to be, but part of the feeling, besides the leading line, the feeling that I wanted to get was kind of the solitude that we're all kind of in. And if in a perfect world, that person would be a little closer right there on that crosswalk thing. But that was the idea.
Yeah, that's nice. That
And
lighting.
I like the placement. Well, I like the fact that's the way it was, and you didn't stage it. So bravo. So the person is where you could catch the person, and not having a partner and staging it. So.
Well, in a normal photographic world, if there was more traffic, I would have been willing to wait for 20 minutes till the person walked through, but there wasn't going to be anybody again for who knows how long.
I just love the angle of the light. That's just wonderful.
Yeah, the
Now,
lighting.
That's great.
what about the color? There seems to be a brownish tint to this. Is it the actual color there at that time?
Yeah, believe it or not, I did not do any adjust. It's almost like I made it into a monochrome, but I didn't adjust other than doing a little vignetting and contrast. I didn't do anything with it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it looks like the camera picked up the reflection up off the concrete and compensated for it.
This might look good as a black and white.
Yeah, it almost is already. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I like that. I like the triple windy line with the weird whatever that plastic is or anything. That's cool.
It's almost like a sepia tone.
Yeah, almost sepia, almost. Practical beer tip, what was that?
All right. And Norman, again, tell us about this one. The bike lane is open.
So this is literally 15 feet from the other picture, and this is one that I had kind of pre-visualized before I went over there. I knew that this bicycle thing and it curved around the corner, and I don't know, I just have a thing for those, like the bike things and the handicap things on the road. I just kind of like those, and I photograph them occasionally. And I kind of like the fact that you got an arrow kind of leading you around the corner too.
Yeah, that you got some great light that day, looks like.
Anybody else?
Where were these taking?
We moved a year ago, we moved to this 55 plus community called Inspiration, which is right next to Heritage Eagle Bend, if you know where that is. And if you don't know where that is, it's Parker Road and 470, sort of.
Okay.
On the way to the airport, sort of.
Nice.
Mhm.
And Bruce was busy with the road.
And this is another, this is kind of right next to the other picture. I like, there's nobody on the roads. I'm trying to give that feeling of, deserted highway. You normally can't lay down in the middle of the road with a camera right on the ground and not get run over. But we don't,
Exactly.
I love the lighting in this one and that little glow right up there in the distance. I really love this.
yeah, I kind of like all these, but this is kind of my favorite. I don't know.
Yeah, I love the light too.
Mhm.
And it looks better. If you can make it bigger, it looks better,
Right.
I think.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah.
I agree.
Yeah.
Much better. Yeah.
Beautiful. Who knew a road could look so beautiful?
Yeah, it was fun.
Very nice.
Crystal,
Yeah, that's cool.
this is like a puzzle. This is so cool.
Awesome.
Well, I
Very
was
awesome.
struggling in the house to come up with leading lines that were creative. All I could think of was chocolate chips leading up to the cookies. So anyway, I left the house, went over to the bridge at Lum Tree, and this is actually the access. There's stairs and there's a ramp to get up into it. And I did that, and then it was kind of plain, so I tried it in black and white, and that wasn't popping. And then I went into Luminar and tried some color, and then this kind of struck me.
By the way, one more comment on, there was a previous one where we did the purple and at the Union Station. There's an old topaz filter that I think is still available called Restyle that I love to play with. And it basically takes 2 or 3 colors in the image and gives you a whole bunch of options. So if you're bored someday and you want to look for that, it might be fun.
Yeah, I like that too. It has some textures in it.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, and you can roll through it and pull up different textures. So anyway, this is just kind of goofy. It's kind of hard to figure out what's going on.
I really like it. It's super cool.
Oh yeah, I love this, Crystal.
I love
Is
it.
that's a house you said?
You know what? Can you give me the screen and I'll show you what it looks like originally.
I like the fact that you actually have a person in there. It's like there's,
I want to move that person down.
this is something out of night. What is it?
Crystal, I'm trying to give you the screen. Just one second.
And we haven't done this, so I don't know.
This is perfect for like a night gallery.
It looks a little bit like a Salvador Dali.
Yeah.
It's very.
Every quadrant is its own photograph. It's really fun to explore because of that. It has like every third has a different type of style in it. It's really cool.
Yeah.
I am having trouble. Hang on.
That's okay if you can't figure it out. I just thought I'd show you because
My little panel has gone away.
Throw it up behind you, Crystal.
what's that?
Throw it up on your virtual. Throw it up on your virtual background.
Your background.
Oh, gotcha. Okay, let me see if I can do that.
I'm sitting here. I've done so many of these. I'm trying to move the frame myself because
Actually, Crystal, I just got it. Sorry.
Okay, well,
You got control.
Crystal is the host now.
says I'm the host, but now I don't know what to do. We're great.
Click on share at the bottom of your screen.
The bottom.
Yeah.
The middle.
I got to come back into there
Mm-hmm.
and then share screen.
Yep.
Oh, here we go.
Oh, wow.
Oh, wow.
Gee.
Okay.
Yeah,
What?
that was whoa.
No, is that crazy?
That's
Wow.
nuts. I love it.
Crystal always has a good eye.
Oh, Crystal's a genius.
Unbelievable.
That is amazing.
So what'd you do to get it?
Yeah.
I know, it kind of blew me away. All I did was, I didn't like those spots down there in the lower left. And then it was just playing with it. And I can't even tell you, if I had to follow my steps, I couldn't. But the one thing I wanted to do is the top part. I kind of played with taking the houses away. You can't really see them that well right now. And I'm half like in Photoshop and half not. You're not even seeing the whole thing. Let's see, maybe if I go like that. Yeah, okay. Anyway, that was it.
That's so cool.
I will stop share.
Great treatment. Fantastic.
Okay.
All right. Yeah, I love this image. I really do. I think you did a great job on it. Oh,
Very cool on some metal, maybe.
Oh, yeah.
Crystal, is that the bridge where the leaf is, or is
Yep.
that a bridge?
That's it. You know, and this is the first time I've actually parked the car and gotten over and walked to it. I've taken pictures of it from the street.
Right.
I love it from the street. And then yesterday I went over there. I can't tell you how many cool shots you can get down here. It's just, it's a great meetup.
Yeah.
yeah, that's great. Cool.
And you wouldn't have done that if we didn't have this project, right?
That's right. I probably, wouldn't have gotten around to it. This is the same location, other side of the bridge. This is on top. And that's looking through the leaf.
Mhm.
We just had some really cool clouds. I waited till late in the afternoon.
Yeah,
The
the
sun was coming.
clouds are great.
Yes.
Yeah, that's cool too.
Yes.
Yeah, I just love I just love all the lines coming in.
Does it look like it's leaning a little bit to the right?
Yeah, it is.
Just a tad, right?
Yep.
Okay.
But great
Yeah,
image, Crystal.
Just a touch.
Yeah.
Yeah, look at
And,
the
and
top
this
of
is
the bridge.
all handheld. I should have taken a tripod. I was just lazy.
That's why you can fix it in Photoshop.
Yeah.
Fabulous.
And that's the bridge from the other side.
Oh, yeah.
Well, I didn't see that one before.
That's a lot of lines.
Love the black and white.
Yes.
There's something about the black and white of it that I think draws you down to the leaf. It draws you all down there. I think if it was color, it might not have the same effect. I love it.
The only thing I was throwing if you cropped the right side, like just up to the bridge, although then you'd have to take out the lines.
Yeah.
I see this perfect leading line of the bridge. If I crop the whole right side up to the edge of the bridge, and then you'd have to take the lines of the bridge out. But anyway, so it's just a totally different perspective if you do that. So.
I'm just getting try the left side with the building and just come up to that just a quarter of an inch away from that first vertical line.
Okay.
I agree.
Then that really brings you in because that building seems to be drawing my eye just a touch. So.
I agree. Yep. Okay.
You might try and lighten the leaf part a little bit.
Which one?
The leaf itself.
Yeah, the bridge.
Up at the top. Yeah. Because I love that it almost looks like a tornado behind it.
Yeah.
It does.
The drama's wonderful back there. But yeah, it would be lighting the leaf would be nice.
Good suggestions. Thank you.
Really neat.
Great clouds.
Yeah.
You ordered up some great clouds.
I did. I got some good ones, huh? And there's just the last angle.
So different from the black and white. It's such a different mood with the pastels.
Make it big, Lisa. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
It's fun perspective. I like that.
Yeah, really nice. I wish that light pole wasn't there.
Yeah, true.
I would have taken it down. There wasn't that many people.
It
around.
doesn't have to be.
If you would have moved over to the left just a little bit and put that line, you guys can't see where I'm pointing, but the line that's just above your name, if you
Uh-huh.
put that directly in the very corner, then the
Okay.
light post would have been gone.
Yep.
That's a good idea. Yeah, but just a camera movement over. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, I was trying to get the whole side, and I look at that and thinking I should have moved up and gotten the round part of the second anchor thingy, whatever it's called.
Someday I think you'll go back and do it again. I don't know why, but
Yeah, like
Another good cloud day.
you've done some wonderful work on that bridge. I mean, just all your images.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, there were some good ones. The sun was going down, and I didn't add these, but I was doing slow shutter speed, getting the cars all elongated and having a sunburst. And yeah, I had a blast. And I wasn't there for that long. It was just a good day.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Thank you.
yeah, very cool.
Is Sherry in here?
Yep, I'm here.
All right. Tell us about this one.
So initially when I signed up, I had some images in mind, but they were ones that I had previously taken. And then I'm like, oh man, I've got so many projects going on. I'm not going to be able to have time to do this. Well, this happened to be on just one of my walks or bike rides. And I saw the lines so there's this little Stonehouse Trail that goes from my place over to Bear Creek Park. Well, it goes the other direction too, but but you have to there's 3 creek crossings. So you typically don't do that unless, well, you want to cross a creek. It's running a little high right now. But you can get up and go across this golf course, which course now you can do. Normally you cannot. And then so they just mowed the golf course. And so that's where I used those lines in the grass to go up into that tree. I have a thing for trees.
Oh, I love it. It's just so organic and soft or something.
Thank you.
I bet that tree would look really cool, like around Halloween. That's a spooky looking tree.
It is.
It's like it fingers out.
Well, I also wondered, I'll have to look around and see if there's, and I should have done it before, but I didn't think of it, to see if I could line it up with the moon at all, the full moon.
Mm-hmm.
Which way are you looking when you're facing this tree?
I don't know. I'm directionally challenged, so I have to really pay attention when I'm out there, and I don't quite remember.
Because I'm seeing shadows in the foreground, so that means that the sun in our atmosphere is always to the south. So if the sun is to the south to your right side, then it looks like you're probably facing northeast, northwest.
You're probably right. I bet you are.
Oh, no moon. But what a thought of mine was your lines are really in the texture. So if you switch this to black and white, those lines in that grass would really be more accentuated. So it would be more of a leading line up in there. So that might be a thought. And then just bring it up to that one first shadow. So you're following that arc.
Yeah, I was thinking
about that. Okay, thank you. I thought
that crop too, Eric. Get rid of some more of the foreground and just get to those lines.
But I really think it would be interesting to see in black and white, because I think the texture would really pop and those lines would really pop out. And then the awesome texture of the tree itself with all the shadows and lights on it, and the scraggly things or whatever, the branches, those scraggly things.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm excited to try that. I hadn't thought of that. Thank you. I'll check that out and see what that does.
And I think this one is yours too.
It is. So this one, I didn't think of it honestly at the time until I reviewed it. So this one was one that I was.
Sorry. I clicked on the wrong thing.
That's okay.
Hi, Sherry.
Hello. Well, here's Machu Picchu.
Oh, wait. You guys can't see it at all, right?
No.
No.
Sorry.
That's okay. I have it up on my other monitor, but it doesn't help.
Yeah. I think it's right here.
There we go. There it is.
Almost. Next one.
Attempting to fix it from here, but I don't have any control. So like I'm
Oh,
I'm
sorry.
so no, it's weird. I'm trying to fix things.
There we go.
I'm being
Sorry,
Okay.
I have too many windows open, so I accidentally clicked.
So I had been kind of surveying, you know, I normally go up to Mount Carbon, bike or hike or whatever. And I was kind of looking at, oh, this would be good for sunset. Granted, it's, you know, I'd have to walk into the park, of course, you know, when it's not open, or when you can't drive in. But anyway, I thought I'd go down and see what it would look like from the shore, kind of imagining, you know, with the moon setting and whatnot. And then I happened to see these lines when I was looking at it, kind of on the side, kind of like a upside down V. So I don't know if you can see those or not, but that's what popped out at me. And I'm like, oh, well, I could use this one, even though honestly, it wasn't my original intention when I took it. But I kind of saw them, like I said, we've got the red rock in the middle, and then more so on the right side actually than the left, but I was kind of seeing the ripples in the water as leading lines.
Okay. And the diffraction of the sunlight and the ripples on the rocks below the water.
Yeah, that's what I really like.
Yeah, I like that as well.
That's nice.
You could really crop really close into some of those and have some interesting things going on.
Yeah, how much do you need of the clouds? I think if you brought it right down and brought us to the horizon line and this nice little arch and all the other stuff that's going on in the water, that'd be cool.
Okay. I'll try that.
I mean, it's all your interpretation. I mean, do you love the clouds? Do you not like the clouds? You know, stuff like that.
Right. Yeah, I was not particularly attached to the clouds. I was more interested in the water. Yeah, I'd be fine with cropping that down.
But I think for sure, with more directional lighting, like you were talking about, coming at a different time, this could be a ton of different photographs for you.
Yeah.
Suzanne?
Nice, I love this.
Yes.
I love normal stuff that looks awesome.
I just had fun with it. I started playing with filters and all sorts of stuff. But actually, I went out with my camera for a walk yesterday afternoon to get some leading line pictures around the neighborhood. And this is how I came home entered through the parking garage of the condo building and said, "Oh, how about this shot?" And we're all at home.
Yep.
That's the truth.
Yeah, I would love to play with it and actually drop the exposure down so that big light in the middle is like more predominant. Does that make sense?
It does. It absolutely does. Yes.
You might get rid of the cars too a little bit.
What happens if you just reduce the shadows?
Yeah.
That's a good idea too, yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
It's an awesome composition. I love it.
Yeah.
What happens if it was also black and white?
I tried it with black and white, but I don't know. I liked more of the textures, and I ramped up the colors, some of the saturation on some of the yellows and stuff just to get the floor and the ceiling to pop a little more. But you can see all the grubby, see how dirty it is. This parking garage hasn't been painted for 40 years, and we were just about to start an interior redecoration of the building, and then we all went into lockdown. So much for that plan.
I think it might be cool if you even made it almost aged.
Yeah, that's
On
another
purpose.
good idea.
You know.
Give it more grit.
Yeah, put some old
Even
film
thinking
on it.
some of those textures that from Jeff Johnson's class,
Yeah, actually, I did apply a texture
Oh, okay.
but I dialed it back so that it's kind of subtle. So
Yeah.
Kind of see it in the, I don't know if that's water or if that's the texture at the bottom.
In the
Right.
middle,
Yeah.
Yeah, right in the middle.
actually, it's kind of a dirty spot in the concrete because there's actually a drain which you
Oh, that,
and
yeah,
Oh.
that's great.
goes in and then dries,
Yeah.
So when I started punching up the saturation, it started bringing up the details.
Cool, I like it.
Nice.
Cool. Oh, the reflections in this. I love it.
Thanks. My neighborhood, quote unquote, when you leave our condo complex and go around the corner, you're in this office park with all these reflective buildings. So you're going to see a lot of these from me while I'm kind of close to home.
I love that.
Yeah, very nice.
Thank you.
Cool at dawn on a cloudy day.
Oh, yeah. I just don't get it. I keep thinking I'll go out at dawn and try to see if I can catch anything good, but I never get out there in time.
Yeah.
I totally understand.
Maybe punch up the blue just a little bit, just
Yeah.
a touch. Yeah,
Yeah,
because
okay.
that's cool. And maybe more, I would play around with the crop because I like it super asymmetrical. So that big long line
Uh-huh,
and the line that goes way off into the distance on the right are
uh-huh.
more predominant.
Oh, okay.
That would be really cool because
Mm.
yeah,
All
just
right.
because then it's it's already abstract. Go for it.
Okay, I'll try that. Thank you.
And
Oh, this is mine. So I have that's black velvet behind it. And these are things I gather on my way while we're out on our walks. And so it's just doing some macro work and working with
Nice.
focus stacking. I can say it. So this is, I think, like 8 pictures that I got stacked. So I'm working through the problems eventually. But I just thought, okay, leading lines. I haven't been outside except on walks. So we'll use this for leading line today.
Cool.
I love it. I love it.
I love this series. You showed another one to our group, and I love this.
The abstract, yeah. I have tons. I know. My neighbors think I lost my mind. I have so many weeds in my house right now. So yeah.
It's better than them being outside.
Well, yeah, true.
The only thing I would do is that the top stem is try to burn it, just a hair.
I have burned it. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's too light, and
Yeah, it's hard.
I burned it down, and it started getting really muddy.
Yeah, it's hard.
Yeah,
Yeah.
try bringing out the other part then. See if you
Yeah.
can bring out the centers, the edges of the what are these thistles? I don't even know what these are.
I have no idea.
Because I like the dark spot in the middle of the things on the left,
Yeah.
but bring out the edges. You know what I
Okay.
mean? So make that hotter, the petals that are right at the edge hotter,
Okay.
and then bring the middle out, and then keep that dark, because then it'll kind of draw us. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Sorry,
Sorry, what?
I'm talking a lot. I always say that. I just talk too much. I'm so.
I'm used to it.
It's good to have somebody talk more than
Yes,
me.
you are.
We appreciate your feedback, Eric.
Absolutely.
Talking about, which is an important point.
Yeah.
Lisa's.
all right, this true confession. This is actually a cell phone picture when I was out on my walk, but I liked. I just liked the kind of the 2 different sets of lines, the line of the fence and then the shadow of the fence. And now I see this weird looking rainbow.
Yeah.
Yeah. Reflection off the lens. Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't see that before, but
You actually have a third one with the walkway to the people.
yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I was
Yeah.
thinking of that
I love
too.
the shadow.
Way on the right, and then you've got the curve down to the people, like Bob said.
If you threw a vignette around this, and then I think you need to tilt this to the right of here. It's weird to me.
Yeah, it looks a
The
little.
fence line is going top to left to right down. So you got to tilt this a hair to the right.
Gotcha.
I love the symmetry, asymmetry, everything. You got competing asymmetrical kind of patterns going. It's really interesting. It makes you look at it, and I love that.
And what happens if you cropped more of the right? I don't know how this would look. I can't, because I don't like the walkway to the right. Kind of takes my eye down to nothingness.
Yeah, I don't mind the path, but I kind of don't like the walkway.
That curved walkway. So if you
Yeah.
cropped it where the walkway starts, I don't know how, if that takes away too much from the fence. I don't know.
Oh, I really like I mean, maybe come in a little bit, but I really love that little arc. It's like this weird asymmetrical thing that's going up against this symmetrical, like the symmetry. I don't know.
Or at least part of it.
Yeah, a little bit. Yeah.
Yeah, thanks for the comments.
So now you just have to go back with your regular camera.
I know. Well, the good thing is that's usually where I go take my dog for a walk. Although
There you
right
go.
now, 7,000 people go there at the same time to take.
Don't take a good camera and your dog. I did a meetup one time downtown, and some guy brought his dog, and he had his like monopod, and oh my God, the dog pulled over the monopod, and camera fell down. It's anyways, that was cool.
All right, Suzanne, this one's yours.
I'm not sure what the heck I was doing with this one, but
Well, you said lines.
and I like the textures and the you know, I like the rusty colors and the concrete and the way the light was hitting the steps. So I just decided to go for that and leave all those all those up and down lines as they were.
Lean into it and do a horizontal. Like just come up to the edge of that where the light is at the bottom.
Oh.
Underneath the steps.
Yeah.
And lean into all that abstraction. That's kind of cool because you're not cutting it off too much. It's like a quarter of an inch, half an inch.
Oh, okay. Huh. Okay, thank you.
Because the light on the steps is really nice.
Mm-hmm. I really like that.
Thank you.
All right, I have two of these images I was playing with, and I put them both here because I couldn't pick.
Make it big.
Oh, right, sorry.
Oh, yeah.
I think I just did this morning, and I probably needed to make the foreground a little darker because I can see the fabric. But I was just messing around with these dice that I got. And I was practicing focus stacking to some degree, but I'm still out of focus back here.
Yeah, I was trying to figure out where your depth of field was. It's interesting. I love it the way it is, though. It's really kind of makes you kind of look like it because there's two different depths of field almost.
Yeah, the front white dice, the top 6 are in focus, and then it gets blurry, then they get in focus, and then they get blurry again. So it looks like you did try to do the focus stacking, but I'm not sure if you got focused all the way to the back.
Yeah, I don't think I did. And maybe my other one.
I feel like it works though. I think it's interesting. I mean, it's really kind of.
This one I just did. I was closer.
I would like to see this same image shot similar to this, but on a mirror.
Oh, that'd be cool.
That would be really cool.
That'd be really cool.
Yeah, that would be cool.
I think that'd be really cool.
And I love this one. This one speaks to me more than the other one. So.
Me too.
Yeah, I was playing with different crops, and I thought I liked the closer crop. And now that I'm seeing it in a different light or whatever, I can also see some areas where my background is showing. So I need to take care of that. Like
just lower your blacks here.
Yep.
Or just paint it out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You should be able to lower your blacks. It should go right away.
She might lose some of that detail in the dice though. So.
Yeah, but I could paint that black. No No problem.
This would look cool on a piece of black acrylic too.
Mm.
Was a good suggestion with the mirror. Yeah.
Yeah, mirror. Anything that you get the reflections on would be cool.
I'll have to try the mirror. So stay tuned for that one. Okay, Philip.
Yeah, Phil.
Oh, man.
Holy cow. How
All right.
tall of a ladder did you get?
It's a drone
That's awesome.
shot.
That's so cool.
That is awesome.
It's probably, I don't know, 150 feet up, maybe tops.
Got a
I
lot of
don't, I don't
perspective.
want to degrade the image, but are you allowed to fly over roads?
Yes, you can't fly. Well, there's no traffic, so
You can drive. You can fly a drone as long as there's no cars.
yeah.
It's
I'm
amazing.
actually-
There's not a car. Actually, there's
It's a
two.
loose interpretation of how you want to interpret it then.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's I'm actually over the island. If anybody asks me.
Okay.
So, but it's actually a stack. I think it's 5 images in an HDR. The only thing I don't like about it, now that I kind of rushed through it, is there's a lot of noise in the clouds. So I'm going to rework it a little bit.
I can barely tell on my screen. So
Yeah, I
Looks
can't.
good from here.
It's really cool, Phil.
the way, I don't know if the way you have the light and where you're taking us is awesome. You're taking us way back into this frame. I love it.
Yeah, it was. So yesterday and the last 2 days, I spent hours down in Denver with my drone, and I've got about 500 pictures to go through. There's just a lot going. There's a lot of cool shots and not a lot of people. So
So now I know who was flying the drone when I was down there.
were you down there yesterday?
No, were you down there 2 days ago?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, and actually I went down yesterday twice, to tell you the truth, because the lighting changed in the afternoon, and I was talking to Chuck, and Chuck's like, let's go down and shoot. So I'm working on a picture of Coors Field we took yesterday. That came out really nice.
Those clouds. Yeah, this is great emotion to it. It's really nice. The clouds, everything.
Thanks.
Especially
Married?
2 days
Oh, sorry.
ago, did y'all see the rainbows 2 days ago?
Yes,
Yeah.
I did.
Now, that's a beautiful image, Philip.
Thank you.
All right,
Nice,
Deborah.
Deborah. Somebody does weaving.
So
Cool.
I think I want to hear if anybody can guess what that is.
Is it a loom?
Loom.
Yeah, it looks like a loom or something.
You guys are just too
Beautiful.
good.
I just said
That's look
weaving,
beautiful.
so it looks like a loom. Yeah.
Yeah, it is. It is. It's a project that I've got going on. In lots of lines for sure, getting all those threads lined up, and I just got it woven, or just got it on the loom this morning. So, it's not as exciting as a drone picture, and it's in my house, but that's where I'm stuck. So there you go. Took this one, and then the next one's a bird.
I love the lines on this, though.
Right.
I'm sorry, what?
I love the lines.
Yeah. They
Well,
all
the
look all-
progression, the progression of colors works really well for it too, with that yellow right in the middle. So
Yeah.
That is
No, it's-
yellow, right?
Yes, Eric, it is yellow. It's. I wanted to start the project with yarn that I had at the house already. I didn't want to have to buy anything, and I looked up and I go, okay, I have primary colors. And then I said, do I have secondary colors? And only secondary color I needed was the purple. So I have a rainbow, and it's going to be a baby blanket.
Really nice.
Be a
Yeah.
great photo stack if you could try going all the way across in focus. Would be really a kind of a neat idea.
Yeah, I haven't gotten into photo stacking yet, but
The colors are great.
it would. Thank you.
And maybe play around with it, and maybe even go more abstract and get rid of the needle heads or whatever the thing at the top is, and just have all the lines in it.
They're called
I like
heddles.
those. I like the horizontal orientation better personally, just my opinion.
Yeah, that one speaks to me a little bit more too. So yeah.
Yeah, I agree. I also like the horizontal.
I like that one too.
Yeah.
There you have it.
So
And
wait a-
I do have some where the tops of the heddles are not showing, but I kind of liked the heddles, the tops of the heddles showing that.
Yeah, I like the tops of them too.
So on my screen, the bottom looks on a diagonal. Is that?
The bottom looks on a
Yeah,
diagonal.
like
Yeah, it's not a,
the left is higher than the right. The bottom, the bottom of the frame.
yeah, the bottom and top.
I'm seeing that too, but I don't know.
Oh.
Is it just an optical illusion from the?
Yeah, I think.
I know
like
it's level. I was just at one end of it, taking it at an angle, but the lumens, the yarn itself is level.
That's really interesting.
Yeah, I'd start. That'd be fun to play with. So
Yeah.
just continue to play with it. It's a good series.
Good one.
You want to come over and take pictures of my loom? No,
Yeah.
you can't do that.
But we would like to see the blanket when it's done.
Okay, I'll do that. I'll take a picture of it when it's done before I mail it off to the little one.
Oh, my thing froze. That's weird.
Okay, so we are. Let me just hop out of this.
Good timing.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're over a tiny bit on time, but
Oh, we all
we got through everybody's images. I think that was really awesome.
Yeah, thanks for setting it up.
Oh, Lisa.
Thank you, Lisa.
Use some more of my day and time.
So our next one is circles, I think.
Oh, I'll have to go look.
Is that
Cool,
on
that
the
is-
19th?
Yeah, exploring circular compositions.
And Wednesday, we have Jeff Johnson.
Yes.
The Art of Black and White.
Cool.
All right.
We've got like
Yes.
72 people, I believe, signed up. So
Whoa.
get there early. Make sure you have your link.
And you have to sign that, like you have to RSVP and register on Zoom.
Yeah, that's the way the news security is on Zoom. So all my new Zoom meetups are the same way.
But
Right.
yeah, you guys, the recordings have been great. I've been catching up, so they've been awesome. I appreciate you guys recording those.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, you guys, will you guys wave? I'm gonna take us a picture. Okay.
Right.
Crystal, is that meetup for the, or not the
There.
meetup? You have the
Sorry.
note for the Thunderbirds? Do you know
Oh,
if that,
the
you know-
Thunderbirds, they moved the graduation up to Saturday. And that's this Saturday. And well, just to tell you, my husband and I went down for the rehearsal. And as we pulled into the parking lot, they finished. They did like 2 flybys and we're done. We only had the time from 12 to 2 and we got there like 5 after 12 and they were done.
Hmm.
So I don't know if they're going to do much of anything on Saturday.
On the news, they said they weren't going to do anything except a flyby. So there'll be
Yeah.
no. Yeah.
Yeah, and there was a lot of people out, you know, they're all
Yeah.
in the parking lot waiting.
Yeah.
So, I mean, if you're there and you're ready, you can get them, but it's like one shot and, you know, they turn around and come back and they're gone.
Yeah.
So
So
did I miss what's next week's project?
circles.
Circle.
Circle.
Is that, so will the Zoom meetup for that be on the 19th then? Are we going to continue on an every Sunday basis?
Yeah, well, we've got a couple more, and then I think we'll just kind of see what the consensus is. Once everybody can go outside, everybody's going to be outside.
So like next year.
It's going to be
Oh.
so bad.
Order your N95 mask and you can go outside.
Yeah, hopefully, you know, in May we'll be able to at least get outside. I think that there's still going to be some restrictions on, like how many people can be together, and so there'll be some of that. But
So I guess my question is, when are we going to do the Zoom meetup for the circles?
Oh,
Next Sunday.
Next Sunday, 4 p.m.
yes.
So I got to keep this on my calendar.
It says 2 p.m. in the meeting. Mountain.
Okay, we're going to change that so it's 4. Because this was all organized and then changed, it hasn't been right. So we'll see if we can get that right.
Yep, don't worry about
It
it.
really should stay up, Lisa, until, so people can find us.
And so we have between now and the 19th to enter or to put those circle images in the meetup group. Is that correct?
That's correct.
Okay. Thank you for clarifying.
My blanket that I'm making,
Yeah.
loom, it has a circle design, so
But is it,
Perfect.
maybe you'll get to see some of that next week.
Yeah, for sure.
Eric.
why does my thing keep going?
Funny.
All right.
All right.
Later.
So,
Thanks, everyone.
Thanks all.
Yeah, good seeing you.
Good night.
Stay safe.
Adios.
Talk to you later.
Bye.
You gonna stay on, Lisa? Oh, no, she's gone.
Thank you both for doing all this. I really
Hey,
appreciate
you're welcome. It's fun. I love your living room there. That's so
it. Yeah, me and the,
familiar.
me and the Simpsons, just for some reason.
Okay.
I was playing with downloading backgrounds, and I thought, oh, I'll be the Simpsons.
There you go. Anything's better than what my mess is in my office.
Well, that's why. That's the sad, shamey reason I've got these going. You're
Yeah.
in your office last week. It looks nice.
Well, take care, Suzanne. Bye-bye.